CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
Today I'm here for the long haul, and I'm going to take care of your team, and I'm going to bring a championship to Barrie.
New owner, but same mission. Bring a Memorial Cup to the city of Barrie. Good evening. A new era is about to begin for the Barrie Colts. The team has been sold. Let's get right to CTV's Luke Samardi joins us live tonight outside of the Sadlin Arena to talk about this new majority owner. Luke, what can you tell us?
Well, Sarah, after 20 years, Howie Campbell is passing the keys of his majority ownership of the Barrie Colts to John Carreri. Meet John Carreri, the new owner of the Barrie Colts.
I woke up this morning, it was like Christmas morning, so I was excited to get up here and get to meet you all, and excited to get the season started.
Carreri takes over the reins from Howie Campbell, who owned the Colts for 2 decades.
He's already in the hockey business. He owns a junior A team in Everest Academy. So he was kind of the perfect fit because those two options will help bring us better players in the future as well. So he was the right guy on the wrong day.
Carreri takes over on the heels of a season that saw the Colts win the Eastern Conference and make it to the OHL final. While that ended in the Colts being swept by the Kitchener Rangers, those games that Carreri attended gave him the confidence that buying the Colts was the right thing.
The heart in this city and the fan base was just watching them enjoy that experience and firsthand, and got to see them go deep into the playoffs and seeing how he was so close to the team. It was unreal.
Adding his commitment to the team and the city of Barrie.
The Barrie Colts will stay in Barrie, and that's the ultimate goal. So to me, it's not even a question.
Last year, the city of Barrie and the Colts signed a 10-year lease agreement. Barrie's mayor, Alex Nuttall, says renovations are a priority.
When it was built by Mr. Massey and the team, it was a state-of-the-art facility for the OHL. Today, it's no longer that. So, we have a reserve set aside that, we started contributing to really be able to carry the costs going forward.
With a new owner hoping to elevate the arena to suit the team's needs.
He's had some unfortunate luck with players getting hurt, and that's part of the game. So, I want to provide, the facilities that can, make sure our kids can recover and we can, take it to the next level.
Campbell leaving with good memories, hoping new ownership can lift them the Memorial Cup.
And then they leave here as 18, 20-year-old men. And to watch them hoist the cups themselves or, get awarded a contract for $10 million or make $8 or $9 million, I take great pride in the fact that we had a little something to do with all of that.
Now back live outside Sadlin Arena, and Sarah, a heartwarming moment earlier today. As one of his last acts of a majority owner, Howie Campbell donated $50,000 on behalf of the Barrie Colts Foundation to Easter Seals, sending kids to camp. Reporting live, I'm Luke Smart. Sarah, I'll send it back to you.
Very thoughtful. Thank you for that, Luke. Now, in other news tonight, today marks a grim anniversary here in the city of Barrie. It was 1 year ago that Barrie police taped off an encampment near the downtown that would eventually lead to the discovery of 2 bodies and a charge of murder. This was the scene back in 2025 near Anne and Victoria Streets after police cordoned off the area and forced everyone out. The next day, police announced they were looking for Robert Ladissour as part of the investigation. He was arrested the next day in Midland. Police were also searching an area in the Huntsville area as part of their investigation. Ladissour was eventually charged with first and second degree murder after the dismembered remains of 2 people were found. His case is now before the courts. And 2 people in Angus are facing charges after police seized a significant amount of drugs and cash. Police say the investigation started earlier this month and they executed 2 search warrants in Essa Township today. They seized more than 200 grams of cocaine, 463 oxycodone pills, plus other drugs, nearly $40,000 in cash, and 3 imitation firearms. A 51-year-old and a 57-year-old face numerous drug charges. It will surely be a busy weekend on our roads as thousands head out on vacation to mark the August long weekend. Let's take a live look at Highway 400. We're at 4 minutes past 6 on this Friday night. We're overlooking Essa Road. You can see that traffic is moving slowly in the northbound lanes. Many people naturally heading to cottage country. As CTV's Mike Lang reports, police will also be out there to make sure that everyone is safe wherever they're going.
The long weekend rush on Highway 400 at its peak.
We're coming from London. We're going up to Burke's Falls.
From Rhode Island, we're heading over to Gravenhurst for a family reunion.
Hundreds of thousands of drivers staring at the brake lights in front of them, making the crawl to cottage country.
My dad hates it. He's the driver. I'm stuck in the back seat with the kids. I hate it, but you got to have snacks, games, play word games, right? Just keep your mind going.
And the price of gas not calming the pain. Regular gas in Barrie remained in the 170s to start the day, and some stations exceeding the $1.80 per liter mark up the highway. But the destination, worth it.
We're going to do some golfing tomorrow, some family fun time, and my son's actually having his birthday, so we decided, let's go camping.
The KOA holiday just outside Barrie, already full of campers settled into their midsummer plans.
Mostly marshmallows.
Did you have fun here today?
Yeah.
This week? Yeah.
The Hitch House says RVing and camping have ramped up even more for this time.
It was a crummy start in May, and that's made each weekend that much more important. So almost every weekend this summer felt like a long weekend to us.
With more traffic on the roads, trails, and waterways comes more enforcement from the OPP, including from the air.
We're asking people to make the right choices. So don't speed, pay attention, wear your seatbelt, and don't drive impaired.
Officers targeting the usual big four of speeding, distracted driving, impaired driving, and seatbelt use. The Highway 400 corridor already experienced a crash this morning in Bradford, where emergency crews say a southbound motorcyclist was hospitalized after crashing into the guardrail.
It's not just about enforcement. Traffic safety is a shared responsibility.
There were 9 deaths on OPP patrolled roads over the civic holiday long weekend last year, which is why drivers are urged to be extra cautious when it comes to the big four to make sure they arrive at their destination and return home safely. Mike Lang, CTV News, Barrie.
Now, we do have some good news for people who are going camping this weekend. The recent rain has brought down the fire danger rating. It was downgraded to moderate in all of Simcoe County today. Now it's the same as Muskoka, where the fire danger rating has been set to moderate there last week. Let's get into our first look at weather. For that, we head to Kempenfest. That is where Case is soaking up the sun. How is it out there, Casey?
Oh, it's beautiful out here. Absolutely. Sun shining. You hear the music going on behind me. We're here at the OLG stage in the south end here of Barrie. We're 54th annual Kempenfest going on behind me, and we're just in transition as far as musical artists go, but we'll hear a little something coming up. Yeah. I guess we should come up to the forecast and find out what's going on. Gorgeous right now. Let's take a first look at the forecast. And here we go. First look at the forecast brought to you by, of course, the graveldrivewayguy.com, your local gravel driveway expert. 28 degrees, Sarah. A humid 28 degrees. And the light winds are out of south, about 11 kilometers an hour. They'll gust as high as about 20 a little later on. This evening, I say, yes. Temperature outside your door, how about 30 degrees in Owen Sound? How about 30 degrees in Toronto, 28 in Parry Sound, looks like 28 in Gravenhurst, and 26 degrees in the lovely sunshine city of Orillia. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a radar satellite image. And does that look like some active weather heading towards us? Well, that would be correct. And active weather seems to be... it seems to be on the lineup, shall we say. Yeah, as a matter of fact, speaking of lineup, Big Wreck is one of the musical artists playing this weekend. And could that be a foreshadowing of one of the day's forecasts, Sarah? I'll let you know all that coming up in a few minutes' time. Sending it back to you from the 54th Annual Kempenfest. Going back to Sarah in the newsroom.
Thanks. Case. Let's talk more about Kempenfest. It has been a summertime tradition here in Barrie for more than 50 years, and Kempenfest back for another year.
When you have a festival that's run this long, this successfully, I mean, we're 11 or 12 years as a top 100 festival. It's an amazing week.
It grows every year, bigger and bigger.
This marks the 54th year of the festival, as we just heard, featuring more than 300 arts and crafts vendors, 30 food vendors, a midway, much more. The event is expected to attract more than 100,000 visitors over the next 4 days.
Just getting all the Cardinals set up for the big show.
Yeah, this is our 30th year here at the show, so it's one of our best out of the year. With the lake in the back, and it's just picturesque, so I guess that brings them out, plus all the great artisans, so we're looking forward to a great weekend.
You know, it's an amazing event. $9.5 million worth of economic impact back to the city. And then we have all of our partner organizations that benefit and put that money right back into the community as well. So supporting Kempenfest has never been more important, especially now in this economic time with all this uncertainty.
There's also plenty of evening entertainment at the OLG stage. That's where we just saw KC. Tonight, Juno Award nominee Jamie Fine will perform. She is scheduled to take the stage at 8:30 p.m. And with the August long weekend here, there are some service disruptions that we'd like to share. In Barrie, City Hall, along with rec and community centers, will be closed on Monday. Barrie Transit will run on a Sunday schedule. There'll be no change when it comes to waste collection in the city. And downtown parking, both on-street and lots, will be enforced on the civic holiday. A reminder, waterfront parking is enforced 24/7, 365. Springwater's mayor has been fined nearly $10,000 after her fellow council members decided an apology she made wasn't enough. Mayor Jennifer Coughlin was ordered to make the apology after an integrity commissioner investigation found that she acted against the council code of conduct when she suggested a developer was, quote, the mafia and, quote, had tentacles everywhere. Coughlin made an apology at the last council meeting in early July, but for 4 of the 6 councillors, it wasn't enough. At a special meeting earlier this week, they voted to dock her pay for the next 3 months. Bradford is one step closer to getting a new civic centre. The town has been awarded the design-build contract. They've given the facility to Ledcor for $87.9 million. The building at 125 Simcoe Street will feature an arts theatre and council chamber, a multi-sport gymnasium and fitness centre, meeting rooms, and 2 administration offices. Construction is expected to begin this October and is scheduled to be completed by mid-2029. Police in our region are asking for your help to find 2 missing people. The first is 49-year-old Tina. Barrie police are on the lookout for her. They say she's known to frequent the downtown area. She's described as 5'3" with medium-length brown hair, was last seen wearing a black track suit and a white sweater. Meanwhile, the OPP is looking for 30-year-old Corey Seismansky from Alliston. The 30-year-old is described as white, 6 feet tall, 230 pounds with medium build, blue eyes and shoulder-length blonde hair. He was last seen on July 14th on Victoria Street in Alliston. If you've seen either of these 2 people, you're asked to call either Barrie Police or OPP. The Ontario government says the wildfire situation in the province is improving as the number of out-of-control fires is dropping, but the government's handling of the fires is facing some criticism.
I heard the ministers indicate that they have invested $150 million, and clearly this is not enough, as they're getting additional resources from other countries.
There are calls for an inquiry into the government's wildfire management. The Office of the Natural Resources Minister says 159 active fires are burning, with 30 considered out of control. 170 are new. Their permanent fire personnel positions have been added, and staff like firefighters and pilots are getting a boost in pay. WestJet has begun parking its planes ahead of a potential labor disruption this weekend. Flight attendants could walk off the job as early as Sunday if a deal is not reached. CTV's Beth McDonnell reports.
WestJet customers are nervous, whether they're flying shortly before the deadline.
We changed our flight for today, and we're going one way to Vancouver.
Or need to be back home later this month.
We're going to the Philippines. We're only there for 2 weeks. We have no news if that's going to affect our flight.
This afternoon, an update from the airline. The company says negotiations haven't resulted in an agreement, and it must begin the difficult process of parking Boeing 737 planes. This necessary step allows the airline to maintain operational control and protect the integrity of the broader network. Most importantly, this proactive measure minimizes the risk of stranding guests and aircraft. WestJet is allowing passengers between now and Tuesday to cancel their flights or make one-time changes to their bookings.
So if you're someone who needs to catch a cruise, whether it be in Florida or Europe or wherever, and you need to get there, I would probably book a fully refundable flight or find alternative methods just to get there. If you're a week out, yeah, you could probably sit and wait for a few more days.
The cabin crew's main sticking points are over wages and compensation for work when planes are not in the air.
You have to report at the airport an hour before the flight leaves. When you get on the plane, you have to do checks that are mandated by Transport Canada. So these are making sure that all of the safety equipment on the plane is working. Then you have boarding, and during boarding, we're briefing passengers. There's lots and lots of things. You're not paid for the time that you're sitting in between flights.
Air Canada flight attendants went on strike last year for the same reason, the dispute affecting 500,000 passengers. But not all hope is lost. Having a deadline when parties are far apart can allow for the right conditions for a deal, says this labor expert.
The way that it should work is that deadline creates that pressure cooker environment and creates the incentive to sort of knock your heads together and overcome your differences.
Passengers ready to board planes today are feeling relieved.
Yeah, it would be a nightmare if I got it after.
Happy to be on their way before flights could be canceled. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
We now know what lineup of local talent will once again grace the Troubadour Festival Summer Concert Series stage ahead of our headliner, the Bahamas.
We all want to live forever. We all want to write our names in the stars.
That's Victoria Harbour-based singer-songwriter B. Knox, who brings a blend of alt country, Americana, and honky-tonk to the stage. But you can also hear his music on radio stations across Canada. He's a shortlisted songwriter for both the Canadian Country Music Association and the International Songwriting Competition. And when I spoke to him this morning, he shared his approach to laying out the live performance.
It's rarely ever set, but it's also not entirely influenced by the crowd. It's more how I'm feeling. And if, the crowd will, the energy in the room will change it for sure. Whether I lean into something a little bit more or leave spaces for things or try and fill all the spaces, just depending on how it feels like the attention is and the vibe.
Seeing through your smile as you try to hide a trace of riveting disguise.
I've been listening to that song all day. Based out of Collingwood, singer-songwriter Jolie Anastasia delivers intimate folk and Americana performances rooted in honest storytelling and emotional connection. Her music explores themes of love, resilience, and belonging through a warm, authentic style.
I think for me, it just feels songwriting and being on stage when you're really in the moment is just like the truest form of self-expression for me. Like just the fact that I'm able to write these lyrics and write this music, and the fact that people want to hear that and listen to that just allows me to kind of drop my guard and just say what I want to say. And yeah, just feels like the truest form of myself in those moments.
Finally, Bracebridge-born Noah Rutten will join the trio of openers. He too is passionate about songwriting and just won the North of Nowhere Music Festival Emerging Artist Showcase. And he says he draws inspiration from his Muskoka roots and shared his unique connection with our headliner.
Full circle moment for me being able to open up for Bahamas because growing up, my parents would drop us off at my grandparents, the same grandparents that told me about Troubadour. And every morning, my brother would listen to Bahamas while he got ready for school.
He shared that his brother is actually in Nashville performing as well. What a talented family. The next Troubadour Festival is on August 15th with Toronto-based indie rock band Zeus opening for our headliner, 5-time Juno Award-winning group, the Bahamas. You can find a full schedule of the events, ctvbarrie.ca. Still to come, all aboard train lovers. From classic equipment to the symphony of sound the antiques make, this is an annual favorite and it's ready to welcome you. Plus, it's a day where we recognize those who are at work on the beach and our pools, always keeping us safe. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Every summer, our community comes together where rhythm resonates throughout the city and creativity fills the air. Local musicians share their stories in song, and thousands gather for free in the heart of the city. Presented by Paul Sadlin Motors, the Troubadour Festival, where arts, culture, and our community come alive in downtown Barrie.
Thanks for staying with us. Today is International Lifeguard Appreciation Day, a time to honor those who are called upon to help save lives at the pool or on the beach. Every day, these certified first responders are called into action, accepting a demanding responsibility that's all about keeping people safe, both on land and in the water. Trained in CPR, AED administration, and first aid, these professionals are at times overlooked for the life-saving tasks that they can perform, but a duty they embrace.
You're always interacting with the community, and you're always like helping others. Like, I love it.
It gives me a better appreciation for just the experiences that I have in my life, and just I don't take anything for granted anymore.
City of Barrie lifeguards want to remind everyone that there are free loaner flotation devices at the beach for you to enjoy all summer long. Steam, auto, and gas antique machinery has rolled into Innisfil.
I'm gonna crush some gravel.
The Georgian Bay Steam Show started this afternoon. The event features daily pancake breakfasts, a noon whistle symphony, antique equipment demos, a rock crush, tractor pulls, and much more. The group first started getting together back in 1965 when people wanted to show off equipment and demonstrate how it runs.
There's not as many steam engines around as there was, say, 20 years ago. Just people are aging out, not able to do it anymore. The next generation's not coming up and taking the slack or showing the interest of it. And we're just trying to keep our history alive.
It's 1962. We don't use it too much. It's more or less sits in the shed. We use it once a year to bring it here, and I do a couple acres of soybeans a year with it just for fun. We don't do much to it. We just run it. The old guy I got it from used it up until a few years ago. We still did soybeans with it, which is pretty crazy.
The show will wrap up on Sunday afternoon with a vehicle and machinery parade at 2 p.m. And here's a unique way to cool off on a hot summer night here in Barrie.
Like these ones that are coming.
Oh, mist, there it is, from the ladder truck made a perfect splash pad at Sunnydale Park last night as firefighters, police, and paramedics were on hand. It was a chance for kids and grown-ups to get close and meet the people who put their lives on the line to protect the community.
We love to see our emergency services people just getting out there and meeting everyone. And my boys are absolutely obsessed with all the emergency vehicles. Every time something goes flying by, they're screaming, "Oh, it's a fire truck! Oh, it's a police officer! Oh, it's an ambulance!" So it's just a cool thing to come and check out.
Having the community be able to come out and see what our firefighters do and see the equipment and try on the gear and talk to Barrie Police and talk to paramedics, and it creates a friendlier face, especially for the kids too, right? When they get to have it on a fun level, and then when they see them in an emergency, it's not as scary for them.
Not only that, but they're also raising money for the Barrie Fire and Emergency Services Charity Fund, giving back to local community groups. The next hot summer night event will be held on August 27th at Benelin Park. If you are looking for more information, particularly over the next 3 days, because we will have a team updating the website on news as it happens, ctvnews.ca/Barrie is the site. You use your cell phone to scan the QR code on your screen. Well, how about this? A hospital in our region has been given the largest donation in its history by a cottaging businessman. Who he is and what it's supporting coming up in just a few. But right now, let's head back to Kempenfest. KC's on standby.
Yes, on the grounds of Kempenfest, but look at those lucky people out on the water. That's a great way to cool off. Cooling off is fun, but how about if we want to heat up, maybe with a little campfire? It's time to check out our campfire conditions across the region. Let's take a look right now. In Simcoe County, it's listed as moderate. The situation is the same right across Muskoka. Campfire conditions brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. Call 1-800-JUSTICE. Our weather watcher, Artiste Alex, says Hey, I have tomorrow's forecast for you for much of South Central Ontario. Thanks, Alex. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hi, I'm Martin Van Coy from Bounce Radio, and next week on the show, we've got pairs of tickets to see the Sheepdogs at the Key to Bala. So make sure you tune in Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
Boy, that was a tough decision for photo of the week, but that last snapshot was the choice. Thank you for sharing your classic beauties with us. Now, how appropriate. Next week, we'd like to celebrate summer snapshots. So whether that's road trips, beach days, backyard barbecues, or perhaps festivals, picture this at ctv.ca is the email address. Speaking of festivals, let's head out to one of the biggest, Kempenfest. That is where we find KC. Now, Case, I'm going to be on the hunt this weekend for a very unique bird feeder. It could be hanging or it could be in the ground, but if you see something, especially if it's pickle themed, then let me know.
You know what? I think you're going to be in luck. There's tons of artisans here, and it's going to be such a tremendous selection. Can't wait for that. You might hear Sydney Riley. She's on stage right behind us right now, or behind cameraman Sully on the OLG stage, and she sounds fantastic. Come on down here to Kempenfest and take in a night of music. What a fantastic evening it will be. Weather-wise, too. Yes, let's take a look and dive into the forecast, starting with the temperature outside your door. Yes, it's humid. Yes, it is. How long's that last? I'm going to answer that question in a few minutes' time. Let's talk about 34 degrees, what it feels like in Gravenhurst right now. Feels like 31 in Newmarket, 34 in Alliston. Call it 32 degrees in Toronto, and how about a lovely 31 in Owen Sound. Continue on with the forecast from Kempenfest, the 54th annual Kempenfest. Almanac for today, 28-12, the high, the low. A record 36.5 degrees back in 2006. Pretty sure we were covering Kempenfest on this day back in 2006. 4.4 degrees for record low back in 1952. Sunrise, sunset, 14 hours and 37 minutes of daylight. Let's take a look at the forecast radar. Adam, would you be so kind? Thank you, Technical Director Adam, for rolling the forecast radar. And here comes a system. Here comes a little cooling relief, if that's what we can call it, from the north and from the south. Actually, northwest and southwest. Yes, kind of interesting. Yes. I was thinking the same thing if you heard that shriek. Let's talk about rain amounts and all that we have to look forward to this weekend. And here we go. Long weekend, too, I might add. So, southern tip of Georgian Bay Lake Simcoe, overnight temperature settling in 18-19 degrees. Mainly cloudy skies. Yeah, increasing cloud cover as the evening progresses. Slight chance of a shower, as per our forecast radar. And then tomorrow, 24 and 25 degrees. We're looking at mainly cloudy skies and a pretty good chance of a shower or two. Environment Canada says about 40%. I think we should up that. 5 to 10 millimeters of rainfall in the area. To Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 17, 18 degrees, mainly cloudy skies. There is a slight chance of a passing shower this evening. And then for tomorrow, with the humidex coming in at 33 degrees, a snippet of sunshine, well, certainly in the morning, but then as the morning waves goodbye and welcomes the afternoon, 40% chance of a shower and or a thunderstorm. We're looking at 5 millimeters of rainfall in the area. Not a whole lot of rain, but nevertheless, moving in, yes. Sydney Riley, singing on stage. Perfect timing. Parrishville, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton, 17 degrees, increase in cloud cover this evening. 40% chance of rain and or a passing thunderstorm this evening. For tomorrow, about 5 millimeters of rainfall in the area. Feeling like 31 degrees under cloudy skies. And yes, there is a chance of a thunderstorm. That's Saturday. Tonight, tomorrow, actually. And let's talk about the 5-day extended forecast. Yes, there we go. The Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast, and it looks like this. Sunday, how about a little rain? Yeah, 10 to 15 millimeters for Simcoe County is what we're looking at. And then Monday arrives, and ho, ho, ho! 25 degrees, sun and clouds, sunny on Tuesday and 26, and 28 scorching degrees on the Wednesday. This is the 5-day extended forecast for York Region. Sunday, how about 10 to 15 millimeters of rainfall in the area? That's what we're looking at for Sunday. Monday, well, there goes the rain clouds. Here comes the sun, 26, 27 on Tuesday. Hello, sunshine. And 28 scorching degrees on the Wednesday. A sun and cloud mix. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Muskoka Prairie Sound, Halliburton. Sunday, how about a little rain? Yeah, it seems to be the mantra, doesn't it? 5 to 10 millimeters of rainfall for your rainy Sunday. And then Monday arrives. Overnight Sunday, things start to clear up. And then Monday, it's looking like 25 degrees, sun and clouds, sunny skies on the Tuesday, 27, and 27 again on the Wednesday. That's the forecast on land. How about water? Well, let's have a look at the Marine Report and have that answer for you. Brought to you by our friends at Suzuki Marine. North Lake Huron, South Lake Huron. Let's have a boo. Winds for both out of the southwest, 10 knots. And the waves, half meter or less. Have a look at the Marine Report for Georgian Bay, Lake Simcoe. And for tomorrow, we're looking at winds out of the southwest, 10 knots. And waves about a half meter or less. And Lake Simcoe, well, winds out of the north, 10 knots, and waves a half meter or less. Again, Sidney Riley's on stage right now, the OLG stage down here at the 54th annual Kempenfest. Lots to see and do this weekend. Don't let the weather dampen your spirits. Come on down, check it out. And Sarah, I'm sure you're going to have a few choices when you're talking, well, anything pickles. There's always choices. Back to you.
I think Case is still recovering from our pickle experience last night. Let's talk about the record-breaking donation, because this will ensure that the future is bright for the healthcare in Muskoka. The South Muskoka Hospital Foundation received its largest donation in history, an $8 million legacy gift from Robert George West, the founder of Medical Mart. West was a longtime summer resident in Muskoka and had a cottage on Lake Rosso. In a release, the foundation said his gift reflects his belief the people of Muskoka deserve the same standard of care. The money will help advance South Simcoe's Hospital Foundation's mission to support exceptional local health care. As rising grocery prices continue to put pressure on household budgets, a Kitchener man has turned the frustration into an earworm. CTV's Alexandra Holk explains.
But every time I visit my local grocery store, every week the prices are up a little more.
It's a feeling many shoppers know all too well. Sticker shock at the grocery store, part of the routine, as food prices continue to climb.
I felt like, something needed to be done, so I wrote a song all about food inflation.
I almost started crying when I saw the price of meat.
Kevin Westfall is a Kitchener musician, known for his comedic, tongue-in-cheek tunes tackling real issues.
There's so many people right now that need help, and I couldn't be silent. I had to write a song to try and help the people, and just shed some light on what's going on.
There's something funny going on at the grocery store.
The food inflation blues comes from a conversation Westfall had with a store manager, who blamed soaring costs on climate change, tariffs, and wage increases. And while the musician says that could be true, he's also noticed retailers raking in profits.
They're making so much money at the grocery store, and they just keep getting richer while the rest of us go poor.
It's a great way to deliver a message.
Danny Bailey directed the music video. He hopes the song strikes a chord for all Canadians.
We want everyone in the country to feel the pain with us. They're already feeling the pain. We're going to add a little comedic value to bringing the thought and the story to the top.
And the price of the fruits and vegetables, it knocked me off of my feet.
The video has been seen more than 26,000 times online. Proof its message isn't falling on deaf ears.
By using comedy and satire, he's actually getting the message further than if he was just going to do a straight ahead song. When you use humor, it kind of brings people together rather than divide them.
For Westfall, making music has never been about division, but rather inspiring change one tune at a time.
There's something funny going on here at the grocery store.
Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
Still to come, seeing a rise in tick-borne illnesses. We'll share the reason for the uptick that's putting a strain on our healthcare system. That story and more after the break. Stay with us.
Pure Country 106. Central Ontario's home for the best country music. Listen to Pure Country 106 on the free iHeartRadio.
Recapping our top stories, the Barrie Colts hockey team has been sold to John Carreri. The new owner says he has the same mission, bring a memorial cup to the city of Barrie, adding that the team will be staying put. Last year, the city of Barrie and the Colts signed a 10-year lease agreement. And ahead of the long weekend, with more traffic on the roads, trails, and waterways, comes more enforcement from the OPP, including from the air. Officers targeting the usual big four of speeding, distracted driving, impaired driving, and seatbelt use. There were 9 deaths on OPP-patrolled roads over last year's civic holiday. And Kempenfest returns for a 54th year, featuring more than 300 arts and crafts vendors, 30 food vendors, and a midway. The event is expected to attract more than 100,000 visitors over the next 4 days. There's also plenty of evening entertainment, too, at the OLG main stage. Well, check, and check again. Across Canada, reported cases of disease from ticks are on the rise. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth shows us why the bugs are of particular concern in Nova Scotia.
When George Fox walks in the park, he always checks his body, hoping to avoid a tick bite.
It's news you don't want to hear.
His fears are valid. There has been a noticeable increase in tick-related diseases in Nova Scotia.
Like anaplasmosis that are transmitted by the same tick.
Anaplasmosis is a bacterial infection that can be treated with antibiotics and is passed on to humans from tick bites.
More like a flu-like illness. So fevers, muscle aches, headaches.
Dr. Paul Bonner says over a 2-year period, starting in 2023, the number of cases for anaplasmosis doubled in Nova Scotia, jumping to 600 reported cases last year.
It does put more strain on the system. So certainly important for folks to recognize these illnesses themselves and seeking early care.
Biochemist Nicoletta Ferroni says ticks are spreading anaplasmosis, Lyme disease, and the Powassan virus. The number of reported tick-borne illnesses, combined with recent mild winters and hot summers allowing ticks to thrive, points to an increase in the black-legged tick population, which can carry dangerous viruses.
Is it because the tick population is actually increased over time? Yes, but it's also the more passive surveillance that we are seeing. So people that are actually looking for ticks, they find them, and then they're sending them for testing.
Which allows experts to have a general idea about the rate of increase for the tick population in Nova Scotia.
You can see that there is an exponential increase.
Using Health Canada approved spray repellent and checking your body and pets for ticks is the best defense to avoid bites and possible illness. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
Turning to business news, Statistics Canada says real gross domestic product rose 0.3% in May. That's beating expectations. The May GDP figures come off solid growth of 0.6% in April. The mining, quarry, oil and gas extraction sector led growth for a second straight month. The increases represent a rebound from a slight contraction in the first quarter of the year. Moving right into the markets, the TSX was down 279 points. The Dow was up 276 and the Nasdaq was up 251. In commodities, oil was up, closing at $84.67 a barrel. Gold was down, finishing at $4,107 an ounce. Our dollar down, ending the day at 71.28 cents U.S. Sports. Let's move right into sports. After a tough loss in Guelph on Wednesday, the Barrie Baycats returned home to take on the Hamilton Cardinals last night.
The third of the inning in his last appearance.
High fly ball deep to left center. It is gone.
The Baycats bats came alive in the 6th inning with back-to-back home runs to take the lead. That was the only offense they needed, holding on for a 3-2 victory. The two teams are back on the field tonight, but that'll be in Hamilton. And Toronto FC hope to snap a 12-game winless streak when they take on the New York City FC tonight.
Breaking out some attacking moves. Punched away by Johnson. The rebound is finally in.
The team last won on April 4th and have now fallen to 12th place in Major League Soccer's Eastern Conference since then. Kickoff for tonight's game is set for 7:30 p.m. at New York's Yankee Stadium. Still to come, using technology to help those with prosthetics. A look at what a company in southwestern Ontario is doing to accommodate a changing body. Details after the break. Here's a look at your Friday night primetime lineup. Leverage Redemption starts at 8, followed by The Librarians, the next chapter at 9, Criminal Minds at 10 p.m. and CTV News Barrie at 11. Welcome back. A startup from London, Ontario is set to launch a device it says could be a game changer for people who require prosthetics. CTV's Jerry Dewan has the details.
Well, there have been remarkable innovations in lower limb prosthetics. The challenge continues to be the ever-changing form of the human body.
People can experience sometimes up to 13% limb volume change throughout a day.
For many years, the common approach to accommodating the change had been socks. Adjusting prosthetics is now possible, but not always convenient, leaving people in discomfort or at risk of further complications.
That rubbing from the misfit can lead to blisters that get infected, lead to hospitalization, and sometimes even another amputation.
The Vessel team developed the KIN automatic volume management system. The technology is embedded in the prosthetic socket and automatically adapts to limb volume.
As someone walks, this part here absorbs shock from that walking motion, which automatically turns this dial and pulls on the cable to tighten the panels against the leg.
A breakthrough moment has come for Vessel, with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration registering the KIN system as a Class 1 medical device, opening the door for broader distribution in the United States. Health Canada registration is expected soon, and an application for European registration will come this year or early next year.
It's definitely a difficult process. Doing hardware and doing medical hardware is incredibly complex.
Getting the regulatory approvals takes us into those markets. It really is that one barrier standing between us and sales, us and helping the patients that we intended to help.
The Vessel team has grown from 3 members to now 9 members, with substantial growth expected in the coming months. Along with research and innovation, the Vessel team can do small-scale production here at the Western Discovery Park. Now the goal is to find a larger space where they can ramp production up. They plan to open a new facility in London and will announce new distribution agreements soon. Robinson says there is a growing need for more comfortable and convenient prosthetics.
185,000 new amputations every year in North America. There's some really staggering data points when it comes to how fast this market is increasing and why. Diabetes is the leading cause of leg amputation, but then with all the global conflict happening around the world right now, there's a lot of traumatic amputations happening as well.
Robinson says the Vessel team continues to work with patients, prosthetists, and physical therapists to refine the KIN system. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
All right, let's head back out to KC one last time. What are you doing over there?
Nothing. We're just having a good time here, 54th annual Kempenfest. Sydney Riley's wrapping it up on the OLG stage, but lots more music, that's for sure, and lots of shopping for this weekend. The Get Up and Go forecast, here we go. First thing tomorrow morning, let's have a little look-see. What are we looking at, 7 o'clock in the morning? Well, cloud cover in Barrie, looks like 19 degrees. Is there a possibility of some showers, possibly even a thunderstorm? Yes, there is. Across the region, we're looking at Newmarket, sun and cloud, 19. There's an oh-so-slight chance of a shower there at 7 o'clock in the morning. And Gravenhurst, 18 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning, cloud cover, and yes, we're anticipating a little bit of rain. Have yourself a fantastic weekend. Nevertheless, Sarah, back to you.
Thanks very much, Casey, and a special thank you to everyone at home for joining us this week here on CTV Barrie. A reminder that on Monday we will have a pre-taped Week in Review show. My name is Sarah Freemark. Have a safe and enjoyable Civic Walk weekend. Good night.